Oh, hello! Guess what time of year it is? It's the fall, and it's time for our final garden tour of 2017. So, let us begin with the trees. I'm really happy. I think 4 out of 7, maybe 3.5 out of 7 survived. This Macintosh looks great. So does that Bartlett pear. Obviously the peach was the real winner. This Granny Smith apple is dead. It's dead, Jim. And then this cross-pollinating pear variety looks like it's going to be fine. So we'll find out next year. But here's the real thing. The garden is out. So it is October 23rd, 2017, and last weekend Bridget's uncle and aunt came, and I got a lot of help in the garden. Uncle Jerry and I were out here doing a whole bunch of digging and turned our soil and everything. So let's come on in. This is going to be one of those exceptionally short garden tours. I'll stand in the middle and go around. How about that? So, look at this great hedge of raspberries. When everything else has been removed and the weeds have been pulled out, it looks really impressive. We'll dive back into that in a little moment. There's the strawberry pyramid. I want to get rid of this, so if anybody wants to come and get it, send me a message. I'm just not interested in strawberries anymore. The gooseberry plant looks wonderful. We'll get up there in a second. And then here's where all of the annual vegetables were. And you can see that everything except the kale plant we took out. We're going to see how it overwinters again because this looks wonderful. And we turned the soil. So that's what I do. Got this nice thick clay, and you just put the spade down 6 or 8 inches and dig it up and turn it around. And I know many of you are opinionated one way or another, so feel free to leave those opinions in the comment section. All the trellises and stuff are back there, the bench and the potting bench, just put them along the rear. I edged it, and I kept this part untilled so that I could walk on a surface that isn't bumpy as all get-go when I need to get out there in the early spring. And you can see how level this is with the arch, because next year hopefully the plan is to have an actual arch to walk under all the way back with squash and things. So I said we'd look over the perennials. This gooseberry bush looks really lovely. I'm looking forward to year 3 next year is when it should actually fruit. So I might have to, I think on year 3 I get to thin out some of the old canes, and we shall do that. There's lots of good strawberries here. I don't know. I've lost interest with strawberries. I keep fighting a losing battle with the birds. The raspberries did so well. Just look at the difference between these that have been trellised and the ones that were transplanted and weren't trellised. Granted, these were kind of year 1 and this is year 1 through 3, but just look at how much taller they are. These were so much easier to harvest, and the berries, I don't know, there was just a lot more berries on these, so they were great. The rhubarb I still need to just pull out if I want to make any jam. I mean, there's still some lovely raspberry stalks in there that I can use. Also known as rhubarb, not raspberry. And then here's how all these lovely transplanted raspberries went. Just look at how tall some of these are, you know? Like, these would be standing... Did I get this in the picture? Yep, these would be standing pretty proud. Hey, my onions look great. Kind of funny. So this is where the main areas are, and these are the walking onions. And you can see if I come down right here, we've got 1, 2, 3 areas where they stood up, laid down, and then they started coming up in patches of their own. It's just funny to see them walking, like their name suggests. Here's where the ground cherries were. Instead of pulling them out, I just chopped them off. I know they'll be coming up everywhere, and I'm just going to keep them to this area next year. Hopefully maybe just 4 or 5 plants I'll let grow to maturity. Otherwise, in the spring, even when it's still really too cold to do any planting, I should get the trellises for these raspberries up. I'm going to shoot for the very early April, because the ground will be pretty hard, but it'll be good enough to put some poles in, you know, and then these raspberries will, you know, barely be this tall, so it's a good time to put a trellis up. We're going to hop out of the garden for just a second. Hop. This big lovely eyesore that you've all seen throughout the year is suckers on a mulberry stump. You can kind of see the stump. It's huge. It's about 2.5 or 3 feet wide, and I got a guy coming for that. later this month. So this whole space here will really open up well. This has just been weeds, some tiger lilies. Look at that lovely weed. And that lovely weed. But I think with the stump gone, I've probably got maybe 5 feet deep and 10 feet there, so 50 square feet that I can use for the garden. I'm not going to plant anything, but it'll just be kind of nice to have. That's it. So, as I conclude, thank you for tuning in to the garden this year. Wonderful time. I still may or may not get one of my raised beds that I want to do later this year, probably in the spring. Who are we kidding? To try out the Hügelkultur technique. So the next time you see a garden update, maybe we'll be talking about seeds or other things that I'll be building for the garden. Probably next year though. So let me know how your garden went this year and what you thought of mine, what I should maybe be doing different next year, or what you'd like to see me grow, and we'll make it happen. There's the garden, there's me. Happy gardening. Bye guys.